Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Cindy. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we break down relationship dynamics in real life and on TV. Check out my playlist in the description after this video. So I want to take a moment to apologize for the delay. There's been a lot going on. I took a road trip with my daughter this month and we ended up extending our time together. But I am all caught up and ready to break down the dynamics of these marriages so far, based on the last 3 episodes of Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episodes 4, 5, and 6. Let's jump right in. So we're going to get started with Gil and Mirla. We know that she's high maintenance with the exception of those awful pajamas she wears every single night. What's up with that? And she is consistently complaining, which is really annoying, but Gil is not totally off the hook. His behavior when he was at the pool with the other couples was a bit childish and unnecessary. A husband is supposed to cover and protect his wife. She's definitely annoying, but he was basically exposing her to the other couples, telling them he treats her like a toddler and how she's moody when she doesn't eat or sleep. Most people are grumpy when they haven't eaten or slept well. So I didn't really like how Gil was talking about her while she wasn't there, and I don't think she's gonna like it once she sees what he was doing. Even Johnny said in his confessional that the things he was saying probably should have been kept private, and I completely agree. He should be sharing his frustration with Mirla so they can work on things and not just, out her to the rest of the group. Sidebar: I wonder if the experts matched them because of their shared trauma with their dads being murdered. It was really sad. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a good idea to put them together based on their similar traumas? Her resistance to take his last name is questionable to me. Call me old school, but I believe married couples should have the same last name, and that turns into the family name. And I'm glad he was able to tell her that it wasn't fair for her to try to make him out to be the bad guy because that's something that he wanted, because she keeps saying, I want to keep my last name because I want to honor my father. He's no longer with us. She also wasn't open to the idea of hyphenating her name. She just was complaining. And I don't think she understands that not compromising at all is absolutely going to cause problems in their marriage. I can't imagine being in Gil's shoes. He's extremely patient now, but she is going to wear him down. I mean, she was able to acknowledge he was patient with her, but I don't think she understands that at some point, even the most patient person will reach their boiling point. And a lot of times that turns into resentment. I was taken aback when she quickly shut down the idea of adoption. Gil wants a big family and she doesn't seem to want to have more than one child. And seeing that her family had mentioned her charity work at the wedding and her involvement in the community, it was kind of odd to me that she was so quick to shut down adoption. Now, adoption isn't for everyone, but she didn't skip a beat with basically saying hell no to adoption. Their vision for family is different, which is yet another thing they don't agree on. And it was interesting, the way Mirla was describing growing up poor was a bit confusing to me. She made it seem like she had all that she needed, but she just couldn't go shopping. Is that considered growing up poor? Comment your thoughts below and let me know what you guys think of when you hear I grew up poor. Is it me, or did y'all hear Mirla mention a divorce check not once but twice in the last episode? She's pretty much predicting where this marriage is headed, and it's been 6 days. She still hasn't kissed him, so in my opinion she's clearly not into him like that. I just don't see it for these two. I don't think that they're a good match, and this honeymoon with all her complaining, it's the beginning to the end in my opinion, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Next we have Jose and Rachel. Rachel's need to hold on to her independence is going to cause problems. I understand a marriage should be 2 whole people coming together to become one, but 2 overly independent people will clash. There's going to be a power struggle on wanting to stand their ground, and she's very resistant to wanting him to do things for her. I know she complained about him. I thought he was joking when he said that he was, gonna brush her teeth, and then she was complaining about him feeding her. So she's already in her mind feeling like he's treating her like a child. And I don't see that. I don't think that's his intention. But because she's already putting that in her mind, and you know how she was saying how she takes mental notes, I feel like that's a mental note that she is going to keep in the back of her mind. So she isn't good with money, but doesn't want him to take the lead when it comes to their finances. And I'm not understanding why. He doesn't have to take over, but clearly she needs help managing money, and finances play a big role in marriage. She brought up her dream trip is to go to Switzerland, and he quickly shut that down. I didn't really like how he went about saying it was too expensive, and then he suggested basically traveling within the United States. I understand wanting to save for the future, but it's important to live in the present as well, and they should probably make a list of the things that they want to do in the near future, especially before having children, and then find a way to compromise so they both can get what they want. As far as the joint account, I do believe in having individual accounts and a joint account for the household bills, and also a savings account for the family. I'm interested to seeing how this whole financial thing plays out. So when they were talking about intimacy and Jose said he needs to have boxes checked, what was he even talking about? I'm thinking it was probably a bad edit. And with all that morning breath kissing, I was really surprised to learn that they hadn't consummated the marriage yet. Do y'all think that they will be the first one to get it in? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Sidebar, why was Rachel wearing sandals during their bike ride? She was saying how bike riding was a challenge, so why not wear sneakers? But I'm glad Jose was being very supportive and patient with her during the bike ride. And I truly feel like Jose has good intentions. I don't feel like he's trying to control her. I think, like he keeps saying, he wants to be able to take care of her, but he has to understand and respect her boundaries. I can't wait to see how things unfold with these two, especially once they start living together after the honeymoon. Now let's talk about Brett and Ryan. They are actually the most boring couple to me. Ryan doesn't come across genuine. It feels like he's trying to fill the void of losing his best friend, and his main reason for getting married is to be a father. I don't think he's that into Brett, especially since he didn't have any questions when he met with her family. Their conversations don't seem to flow. They appear very awkward and uncomfortable with each other. Brett thinks he's taking her fears for everything in stride, but he is low-key annoyed. He basically said, you know, if they were dating after that plane ride, he probably would have dumped her. They don't seem to be on the same page. And I wonder what she was doing on the plane that turned him off. Like, was she screaming? I don't understand what she could have possibly been doing for him to say, you know, if they were dating, that he would, you know, dump her, especially since she had already told him, you know, she has a fear of planes. Anyway, I don't like how he was repeatedly asking her to look down at the animal in the water during their activity together, when he already knows she was afraid to even go out on the water, but she was, you know, putting herself out there, teasing her, or trying to be funny. For me, it felt like he was being a jerk. And once I found out that he's basically a Republican, or he voted for 45, I was really looking at him sideways. Brett didn't really want to come out and say it, but basically how she was explaining their differences and how social issues matter to her. She basically said it without saying it, and this is reminding me of Eric from last season. I'm not sure about these two. I think they are an odd match, and I don't see a future for them. Ryan just isn't giving me anything. Like, I don't feel he is interested in actually being a husband. His intention is to be a father, so he's just looking for a vessel to procreate with. And at this point, I don't know how this is gonna pan out, but we'll have to wait and see. On to Johnny and Bao. Let me just say, it was so sweet for Bao to say that she will do whatever it takes to win Johnny's dad over, when he was expressing his disappointment and how his dad was not supportive of them getting married. Why are they still sleeping with the pillow in between? She showed in this episode that they still had the pillow. I'm not sure what that's about. And she's very concerned about the snoring. I understand, like she said, it's not attractive, it's not cute. But at this point, it's either you do something about it, like go to therapy, a sleep study done, do something about it so you can kind of tackle that issue instead of complaining about it and making Johnny feel like he's doing something wrong by mentioning it. I do hope that Johnny doesn't mention it anymore, because clearly it's an insecurity for her and she doesn't like it. So hopefully he will not say anything else about her snoring. I thought it was interesting that Johnny said being married is forcing him to grow, and some things that he might feel are petty, he's realizing that he has to be a little bit more sensitive. And I appreciate the open conversations that they are having with each other. Although Johnny is straightforward and frank, I don't think he's mean, being very truthful with one another. And the fact that Johnny was able to bring it to her attention that he feels that she's living in either the past or the future, and that he requested that she, stay in the present with him, especially during the rest of the time of the honeymoon, and for her to take that information and process it and actually live in the moment when they went, parasailing. When you communicate, you give the other person an opportunity to make a shift or a change. Had he not told her that, I don't think it was something that would just dawn on her. And he was, open and honest instead of shutting down. When he's bothered by something, he's willing to communicate. And it's a good thing that Bao appreciates that he's open and frank. Letting each other know your likes and dislikes is very important. I thought it was really sweet that Bao admitted she always had a crush on Johnny. I was glad that Johnny was able to speak to his dad, and I guess, after he told his dad that he had married an Asian woman, his dad felt relieved, and he shared that his dad was now happy for him. So I'm happy that his dad has had somewhat of a change of heart. I would like to see how they are introduced, whether it be to see the reaction that dad has. I think these two are a great match. They're on the same page so far, and I am definitely looking forward to how they're going to come together after the honeymoon, once they move in together. I'm still rooting for them. They're my favorite couple, and I can't wait to see how things unfold for them. Last, we have Michaela and Zach. Her selfish side is starting to show, and it's not cute. I understand being a bit disappointed about not having the honeymoon experience, but Zach has COVID, and COVID is no joke. Her whining and complaining was insensitive. She's already showing signs that she will probably not be very considerate of Zach when things don't go her way. It would have been nice to see her show support, like Bree was willing to leave the honeymoon last season to fly back with Vincent, to be in support of his grandmother being in the hospital. Michaela's reaction to him having COVID was not supportive at all. And he even started to question, whether or not she's going to resent him for life. And that shouldn't be the thought in his mind. I think if she was able to show some compassion and be more supportive in wanting to make sure that he gets healthy, I think that would have helped him to feel a little bit more at ease. But I think right now he's on edge. It was very sad hearing Zach express his concern about her resenting him for having COVID during their honeymoon. He should feel supported and reassured that his health is the number one priority. So I'm hoping that once he goes back to Houston, she will apologize for her behavior. And why did she head back to Houston? Did I miss something? Is there a reason why she couldn't stay in a different room, be supportive from a distance? To me, that felt like she was kind of abandoning Zach. I don't know what production might have said to her, but I think it would have been a good idea for her to stay in Florida. Obviously stay in a different room. She could have been bringing stuff like food or water or, different little things to the front of his door, just so he can feel that She cares. But like I said, I'm hoping that when he goes home, she's going to be apologetic for her behavior and how she acted. I was really rooting for them, but at this point, I'm not really sure how this is going to play out. Hurricane K is on the loose and it's not looking good. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to mention a few points that were brought up when the couples were together during the last episode. We learned that Mirla and Rachel have cheated. Cheating is a trigger for Jose since his parents got divorced due to cheating, and I'm wondering if that will make him even more insecure. Another point that was brought up was the whole political thing. Gil said politics shouldn't divide a home, but Mirla was absolutely not in agreement with that. And I feel like Gil and Mirla is that couple that you go out with and they cause a scene and everybody's kind of just sitting there looking at them, because it's like, yes, they don't agree, but the way they were kind of bantering back and forth was just cringy to watch. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the couple sitting there were kind of feeling weird, because it was kind of like, okay, it's one thing to disagree, but the way you guys are going back and forth right now is a little much. What do you guys think about the couple so far? Who do you think is gonna make it? At this point, the only couple I see that has a future are Johnny and Bao. They are open with each other. They understand that communication is key. But one thing that was kind of alarming to me was the fact that Bao was trying to explain away not wanting to take a shower after she goes to the gym. That was kind of weird to me. I don't know like what that's all about. I'm looking forward to seeing how these couples come together in the next episode, moving in together, and I can't wait to see when they go to visit each other's homes, what they're going to discover about each other, and what kind of conversations they will have in the next episode. So join me here next week. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.